Would you like a sweetie?
Yes, I would indeed, please, Chris. And I think we're in for a treat tonight as well. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back on YouTube. That's right, long time no seen. And probably maybe another year until I upload another video. I'm just kidding, guys. I feel like it's good to be back, to be fair. I mean, you know, inconsistent uploads recently and stuff. But, you know, we can go on about it all day. The fact is, I'm back. Let the videos do the talking. Anyway, we have the interesting match tonight. You know, domestic match between Liam Smith and Chris Eubank Jr. The rematch, repeat or revenge. Now, the reason I have said Liam Smith before Chris Eubank is obviously because he battered Chris Eubank in their last meeting. Yes, same place, just a different day, this rematch. Anyway, yeah, he absolutely battered Chris Eubank in the fourth round last time. I think that was a mixture of reasons. First of all, at this weight, Liam Smith is better. Second of all, at this weight, the punch resistance of Chris Eubank is not the same. Now, Chris Eubank, his dad can even vouch, is a tough guy. He's got a good chin. But has all that weight cutting put the resistance down? Well, in that last match, it was clearly evident, because I've seen Chris Eubank take some good bangs. I've seen him take it from Groves. You know, all these fighters have given him some good punches, but at this weight, you know, at 160, he just seems to be 159, 160, 157, you know, around that weight, he seems to be a bit, yeah, his chin's not the same, and that can happen due to weight loss and all that type. What the hell would you know about weight loss, big boy? Too much pie, that's your problem! Chris Eubank will be looking to get revenge on his opponent, Liam Smith. And Liam Smith, you've got to remember, is a good fighter. At 154, he won the title. Was it the WBO title? And, you know, he's fought people like Canelo and things. So he's a good fighter. He's got power. And, you know, whether you can say that, oh, you know, he's... Chris Eubank was drained, yada, yada, yada. The fact is, he finished him, and he's the only guy to finish Eubank, you know. And Chris Eubank, his father had a tough chin, and his son seems to have a tough chin, but obviously the resistance isn't the same. Unless Liam Smith's just got really immense power. If so, you know, it'd be nice to see him have another title shot at some point. But yes, coming into this, Liam Smith looks to do the same thing, end Chris Eubank. Chris Eubank will probably look to come in and barnstorm Liam Smith, you know, with flurries, as he likes to do. You know, but Liam Smith, he really has to get that jab going, doesn't he? In my opinion, Eubank has to come in, impose himself, and a lot of people may say, oh, well, you know, he got caught and stuff. That was because I feel that there's maybe a little bit of complacency, but at the same time, it's stupid to be complacent with a fighter like Liam Smith, because Liam Smith is well renowned. He's fought better opponents than Chris Eubank ever has, in my opinion. I mean, Canelo is just a prime example. And the best fighter, I believe, that Chris Eubank Jr. has ever faced was George Groves. Someone forgot about Billy Joe Saunders, didn't they? No disrespect to Grovesy. He is a fantastic fighter. Of course, we saw him against Carl Froch, but 2 times actually. But he's not Canelo's level, is he? So the experience is already there for Liam. And Liam did an emphatic knockout on Chris Eubank. You know, he was on Bambi legs, wasn't he? People could say, oh, well, the referee stopped it. Well, I think that, you know, if the referee hadn't stopped it, he could have been seriously hurt by Liam Smith. So therefore, for me, I think the same will happen again. I think maybe Eubank takes him past the 4th this time, but I feel that Liam Smith will eventually finish him around the 6th or 7th. The Conor Benn fight, thinking about that, I think the fight happens regardless. I think that fight is next for Chris regardless. Well, unless he obviously beats Liam Smith, then there's probably talks of a trilogy. But in my opinion, I think Benn Eubank is the perfect scenario if Eubank loses. But I don't know, I just like Eubank. Maybe I'm holding on to feelings of his father. I liked how he came across in the interview, but a couple of interviews, podcasts that he's done, but at the same time, I don't like this before the match, or I'm going to take it 15% on you. You know, I'm only going to stay abstinent for 2 weeks. But at the same time, trash talk, folks. Trash talk. Sell the fight. And sell the fight it did. As the rematch now, I think the country is eagerly anticipating for. Now, Liam Smith, inspiring guy, has autism, just like me. So, you know, I really respect the guy. And he is a former champion as well. So, you know, he's a good fighter, Liam Smith. You know, underrated in my opinion. Is he Canelo's class now? You know, now he's moved up to middleweight. Is he the best at middleweight? Probably not. But like middleweight, he was amazing. At 154, he was really like, you know, probably the best domestic fighter for that weight, and he proved it. I'd like to see him move down personally. I was listening to Frotch on Fight earlier, and he brought up a great point about him moving down, which I'd like to see after this fight. But who knows? I mean, if Liam Smith ends Chris Eubank in emphatic fashion again, I mean, Chris Eubank has obviously drained a lot. He's a super middleweight, really, isn't he? It's 5'11", and he's had to cut. He's always been in lean, good shape, but he's had to cut for this fight. And Liam Smith actually came in at 160, you know, heavier than Eubank by a pound. So, yes, he looks ready. But Chris Eubank looks in better shape. He looked in good shape for the last fight, to be fair. But this fight, he looks, yeah, in a little bit better shape. I do like Liam Smith, if I'm honest. I think he's funny. I think he's great. I have a lot of respect for him. And I wouldn't mind who wins this fight, to be honest. Like I say, holding on to Eubank Senior and my love for him, I suppose, maybe taints my, and I shouldn't, because they're their own individuals, but probably taints my love and makes it stronger for Eubank Junior in a way. Because as well, I don't think it's just that. I think it's because of the interviews that he conducted himself in as well. So yeah, I think overall, if I had to call it, 6th to 8th round TKO to Liam Smith. I think he implements the jab. I think he weathers the storm first couple of rounds like he did last time. And I think it ends pretty much the same, just a bit longer. Although, you know, Chris Eubank could be up for this. We know how he can take a punch. If his punch resistance is anything like of old, he will be hard to get out of there. But I just don't think it's been enough time to get that punch resistance up. And I feel that it will happen just like it happened in the last fight. I think it will last a little bit longer, but it will only be a little bit. And I think Liam Smith takes the victory, if I'm completely honest with you, which is all I want to be on this channel, folks. Yeah, I've returned. So, you know, I could get this completely wrong. Chris Eubank knocks out Liam Smith in the first round. I look silly and my career is over. I think Liam Smith wins it tonight. I think it's a clear W to Liam Smith. But fingers crossed, deep down, if I'm honest, I want Eubank to get the rematch so we can, you know, maybe see a trilogy, or even him fight Conor Benn. Either way, that fight's going to happen anyway, so who cares who wins this fight, I suppose. I think it's good for Liam Smith at the end anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that old Eubank go to Misfits, you know. He's got the father's character to, you know, gel with imagine, right, you know, Tommy Fury versus a pumped-up Chris Eubank Jr. The fathers would be at it, wouldn't they? Chris Eubank would be like, yes, you've got to have the warrior's code, John. And John would be like, I'll tell you something now. My son is the greatest influencer boxing of all time. And he'll smash the table, and then Chris Eubank will be like, you know, I don't know, will think he'll know what to do. I think he'll be like, oh, you've got my suit all messy now, John. You know, it's just, I just think that that's where we're heading, folks. I think Chris Eubank's shown an interest in Misfits, and he'll be going there at some point. Would not surprise me at all, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, the state of boxing at the moment is annoying me. But at least we got to see Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence. I'm happy about that, folks. And I'll leave you with this. Whatever happens tonight, it's going to be entertaining.
OMG, they're cream. Look at that cream on that! Excuse me, can we get a spoon?